Today we will learn running commands. That means today we will learn some basic commands that will be very much helpful for us. So in last class we have learned types of firmwares. There are two types of firmware. One is EFI, another is BIOS. Then also we have learned yesterday disk preparation, LVM advanced configuration. That means we have already learned how to find out the drive attached in the operating system and how to format a drive partition and how to make partitions using the disk drive and how to configure the LVM, that is an advanced feature in Linux. So these things we have already covered yesterday class. Today we will learn some basic commands. Running commands. First we will learn PWD. PWD means present working directory. Command will be PWD. So let me show you. Now I am in /root. That means it is showing me the exact path now where I am in. I have already told you /root is the home directory for the root user. So just you can see that I have just logged into the server using the root user. So that's why it is landed me to the /root directory, which is the home directory of root. Likewise, we have to check in which working directory now we are working. We can check using the command pwd. Rm command is used to delete files. Using the rm command we can delete a file, and the command will be rm option and the argument. That means file name is the argument, and here you can use the option. Using man command we can take the options. You can see using the man command we can take the options what is available for the rm. Some important options are rm file 1 and file 2. Using multiple files with the command rm we can delete them. So ls command is used to check the contents of the directory. rm-f file name, that is interactively. Sorry, rm-r file name, that is interactively. That means it will ask the confirmation whenever it is deleting a file. cd/root pwd. Now we are in /root directory. ls command to list the contents. Now rm-r text.txt. It will ask the confirmation from our side to before deleting the file. We will press Y. Now you can see that is text file is deleted. So removing more than one file, command will be rm file name. So first file name, then second file name. And rm-f, that means forcefully. Whenever we will use the -f option, it will delete the file without our confirmation. Then files with space and odd characters. Whenever there is a space between a file name and whenever we use any odd character, at that time we can use a single quotes, or we can use the tab button so that it will complete the file name, file or folder name. mv command is used to move file and directory from one location to another location. It is also used to rename a file or directory. To move a file to another directory, we will use the command mv file1 then directory 1. Let me show you. mv text1 /home Vishnu. You can see now that file is permanently moved to the home directory Vishnu. ll/home. You can see text2 file is permanently. Move a directory from one location to another location forcibly deletes file without asking. That means whenever we will move file 1 to directory 1 to directory 2, at that time the contents of the directory will be forcibly deleted. Move multiple files or directory from one directory to another, we have to use the command mv file1, file2 and file3 then directory 1. Directory 1 is the destination directory, and these are the multiple files you can move in a single command. Renaming a file or directory mv file1, file2. Let me show you. notch, text file is created, then MV, hit the tab button, test 1. Now you can see text 1 file is converted to text1 or renamed to text1.txt. So MV command we can use both moving and renaming a file or directory. Do not overwrite an existing file. That means when MV minus N file 1 directory 1, whenever there is a file present in directory 1 directory, if we will use the minus N option, it will do not overwrite the existing file. Let me show you. You can see in home Vishnu text file is already present. Now we are in /root directory. So ll text1 is also present in /root and text1 is also present in /home/Vishnu. Now try to move MV text1 minus N /home/Vishnu. Using the minus N option means do not overwrite an existing file. You can see text1 not moved to the home directory because already there is text1.txt is present. So using the minus N option, we can restrict the move command to move previously existing files. Is it clear to all?
Yes, yes.
Okay. mkdir, creating a directories. mkdir new directory. That means using the mkdir command, we can create a directory. Likewise in Windows, whenever we want to create a file or directory, at that time we can right click and create a new directory, new folder. Likewise using the mkdir command, we can create a new directory. This is called folder system. Let me show you. These are the directories. How you can identify? Here you can see one D character is present. That means this indicates that this is a directory and this is a file, because here D option is not present. So likewise, whenever you will list the contents of a directory, you can identify which one is a directory and which one is a file. So if we want to create a directory, we can use the command mkdir. We have created a directory having name sample. Please check. Sample is a directory created, and here you can see D is present. That means this is a directory. We can navigate to the sample directory using the command cd/root/sample. I have already told you this is the cd command and this is the complete path. We have used the complete path to move the sample directory, and another way is cd dot to navigate to one level up. Another way is to use the relative path mv sample. This is the relative path. That means we have not given the complete roadmap, just we have given the sample because we have already in /root directory. Sorry, cd sample. Now you can see, you can remember that I have already told you this is the complete path and this is the relative path. This is the absolute path and this is the relative path. It displays a message for every directory created. If we will use the -f option, then it will give us the message, because you can remember this option, which is always advisable to use. minus B. You can see it is prompting the message sample1 directory created. This is also giving the confirmation. Minus P option enables the command to create parent directory as necessary. If the directory exit, no error is specified. That means here one directory is present sample, and in sample you can see that is sample1 is present, but I want to create a directory 3 in sample2. That means mkdir slash sample then sample sample 2, then sample sample 3. That means I am trying to create a sample 3 directory in sample 2, and which will be in sample. That means sample 2 is not present in sample. Here you can see sample 1 is present in sample, but I want to create a sample 3 directory in sample 2. Let's check. You can see cannot create a sample this directory, no such file or directory. That means sample 2 directory is not present. That's why sample 3 directory not created. If we want to create likewise, we can use the option minus P. Let's try the option minus P. You can see command successful, and sample 2 directory created in sample directory, and sample 3 also created in sample 2. You can see sample 2 created. You can see sample 3 also created. So if we want to create a directory in another directory which is not present, at that time we can use the minus P option. Please remember, this is a very important option. So if the first and second directory do not exist, due to the minus P option, mkdir directory will create these directories for us. Command will be mkdir minus P first, second and third. That means it will create the second directory as well as the third directory using the option minus P. Set permission when making a directory. I can let me show you. This is the permission. First D stands for the directory. Then this is the permission available for the templates. And if we will talk about the sample, this is the permission for the sample. If we want to change the default permission and set according to our requirement, we can use the option minus M. I will tell you in later classes what is the permissions and what are the types of permission. I will tell in details. But now remember, using the minus M option, we can set the permission whenever we are creating a directory. mkdir sample1 755. You can see we can directly modify the permission whenever creating a directory. So using minus M option, we can change the permissions of the directory whenever we are creating it. Verify directory while creating. That means mkdir minus V option to verify the directory. You can check. It is giving the message whenever it is creating a directory. Created directory sample3. This will display the message, successful message, using -v option. Any doubt? Anyone have any doubt?
No, no.
Okay. Then rmdir. rmdir command is used to remove empty directory from the file system in Linux. That means rmdir command will only delete or remove the empty directories. If there will be any contents in the directory, it cannot be remove that directory. rmdir new directory. You can see here we have multiple sample directories here. If we check the contents, ll sample, here sample and sample 2 present in sample, and if we check about sample 1, you can see there is no contents. Let's try to remove the directories. You can see fail to remove sample directory is not empty. That means some contents is there in sample. That's why it is unable to delete the directory using the rmdir command. Let's try to delete the sample 1 directory. You can see sample 1 directory successfully deleted because this is a empty directory. So if the specified directory has some directory or files in it, then this cannot be removed by the rmdir. So using the rmdir command, we cannot delete a directory having some files or folders, file or directories. First remove the child directory and then remove the parent directory using the -p option. So previously you can remember that using the -p directory, it is creating the child directories. So likewise, using the -p option, it will also delete the child directories. So let's try it and see. Now only using the rmdir command, it is unable to delete. Whenever you will use the -p option, already deleted all the contents of the sample. That's why this command is not working. Let's create some directory in sample. Oh, sample also already deleted. mkdir. Let's create the sample file, sample directory. You can see sample directory deleted using the option -p option. That means first it will delete the sample 1, then it will delete the sample 2. But it is really impossible to remember or specify the child directory in a single command, because there will be multiple directories in the another directory, so it is practically not possible to specify the child directories. So what we will do, we can do the rm minus rf option to delete the folders or directories without asking the confirmation. We can use the command rm minus f option. So let's prepare the sample directory again. Now we have created sample 3 and sample another created another directory sample in between, sorry, in sample 3 directory. You can see sample directory is present in sample 3 directory. So to remove the parent directory and the child directory, we can use the command rm minus f sample. It will directly delete the parent directory as well as the child directory. Whenever required, we can use the rm minus f option, but we need to double sure what we are doing, because it will not ask our confirmation directly delete our directory. So we cannot roll back to that directory. If we will once delete it, we cannot roll back. So touch, to create a file using touch command, we can create a file. I have already shown you multiple times here. Using touch command, we can create a sample.txt. Sample.txt, this is a text file created. To create multiple files, touch test1, text2 and touch test 1 to 10. That means it will create 10 numbers of files having name test. Then cat, display contents of a file. Using cat command, we can check the contents of a file. Let's check. You can see there is no contents available in sample.txt. So let's add some contents. I have added some contents. Then save this. Again check. You can see this is a crash course. Using the cat command, we can check the contents of a file. Then the view contents of multiple files, we can use the command cat file name and file name. That means using multiple files contents, we can also check using a single command. Cat a file with cat command. Sorry, create a file with cat command. Cat greater than symbol test2. It will create a file also. Previously, I have told you using the touch command, we can create a file. Using cat command also, it is possible, and the command will be cat greater than symbol then file name. Awaits input from the user. That means whenever you will create a file using the touch command, it will just create the file, but we cannot add the contents. But whenever you will create a file using the cat command, it will ask the confirmation to add some contents. You can see it is waiting for add some contents. Then Control C, then cat, you can see I is the contents now, contents of the sample and the text. So using whenever you will use a file using the cat command, at that time we can insert some contents also. running locate command. Locate command is search a file with specified name. That means whenever we want to search a file in Linux, we can use the command locate to find a file. Also another command is find. Search a file with specific name. Find slash minus name file name. That means command will be find slash means destination where we are going to check, minus name, that means the file name will be sample.txt. That means we will instead the find command to check in slash and the file name will be sample. You can see the result is come that slash root and sample.txt. That means sample.txt is present in slash root. So find command is very much useful for us in practical life. So please remember this command find slash, that means this is the destination directory where we want to search, and the argument minus name will be used to use the name sample.txt. If we want to check all the sample, we can use the star also here. Okay, let's check it. Ping. Test the ability of source computer to reach a specified destination computer. Ping IP address. Using IP command, we can check the IP address of the computer or the server. So this is the IP address. So let me ping if the server is reachable or not. Using the ping command, we can check the reachability of the server. And host name. Host name command in Linux is used to obtain the name of the server. You can see this is the name of this virtual machine. Then hostname CTL. Hostname CTL command to check the current host names and related information. Let's check it. You can see this is giving the information about the virtual machine. You can see this is a VM. Please remember this whenever interviewer asking you if you want to check the server is a virtual machine or a physical machine, how you can check that? Using the hostname CTL command, you can check that the server is a virtual machine or a physical server. And on the VM or hypervisor, now it is running having the operating system Red Hat Linux RHL 8.0 and Linux kernel. The kernel is also this version, and the architecture is x86-64 bit. That means this is a 64-bit operating system, and RHL 8.0 version kernel is this thing, and hypervisor is VMware, and it is a virtual machine. These all informations are showing the here using the hostname CTL command. So please remember this is a very important command, hostname CTL. So user add, using user add command we can add the users. User add is a command in Linux that used to add users account to your system. User add username, add user with home directory path for a new user, user add minus d home directory. So let me tell you, whenever we are creating a whenever we are creating a user, by default it will create the home directory for that user in /home. I have already told in previous classes. So home directory for other users will be in /home. But when we want to change that default directory, we can use the option -d. So using the -d option, we can change this path. According to our requirement, we can change the home directory of that user. To create a user without home directory, minus M option. If you want a user without having home directory, at that time we can use the minus M option. That means whenever a user having without home directory, that user cannot be logged into the server. It will do some specific task in that server, but that user cannot be logged into the server. Whenever that home directory is not available for the user, using minus M option, add user who have nothing to do with login shell. That means this is also another way. Whenever we don't want to create a user and that user will be not required to log into the server, at that time we can use the option minus S option. That means, let me show you. I have created a user having name ABC and given the option minus M and slash admin slash no login at slash etc sswd. You can see here, you can see this parameter admin no login is available. But in case of Vishnu, you can see home directory is slash home slash Vishnu 5, then slash home slash Vishnu. This is the home directory for Vishnu user. And in case of, sorry, this is slash bin slash bash. This is the login shell available for the Vishnu user. But in case of ABC user, this is slash admin slash no login. That means the ABC user cannot log into the server. PSSWD, changing password for a user. If we want to change the password of a user, we can use the PSSWD command. As well as also we can set the password. Now you can see we have created the user ABC, and previously there is a Vishnu user, but we have not given the password. We have not specified the password for the ABC. If we want to set the password for ABC, we can use the command PSSWD. Also another user Vishnu is there having some password, but we want to change. Now we are in, please remember, now we are in root user. We are using the root user now. So we can use the password, change the password PSSWD, BISSNU Vishnu. It will ask the new password. So using PSSWD command, we can change a password for a user or we can set a password for the user. Two things you can do using the password command. Then user del, delete a user account without delete related files. User del new user. That means whenever you will delete a user using the user del command, it will not delete the home directories. It will only delete the user account. Delete a user account with files in the user's home directory, we have to use the option minus R option. So date command. Date command is used to display the system date and time. It will display the date and time of the computer. So if you want to set the date, date minus minus set is equal to, this is the format. Using the minus minus set option, we can change the date and time of the server. If config network interfaces, package name, net tools. That means whenever net tools package is not installed, if config command will be not work. It will show the all network interfaces available in the server using the if config command. Then NMTY, if configure IP address network manager text user interfaces. That means in if config, it is a command tool, but NMTUI, this is a GUI tool. Using the GUI tool, we can change the IP address or add network interfaces as well. We can activate, deactivate, and all network or IP related things we can do using the NMTUI, which is a graphical tool. So network manager -TUI, this package is required to install to access the NMTUI command. That means network manager -TUI is the package required for the NMTUI tool. So we have completed this session. Anyone having any question, please ask me.